Hey, this is Mark Hager, consultant and advisor to businesses and organizations wanting to generate substantially more revenue serving the 50-plus market. This is the 50-plus Strategist for March 20th, 2018. I thought I'd mix it up and try an audio format versus the article that I generally write. If you like it, let me know. Okay, so I caught an article in the Financial Times a while back that I've held on to. It was called Japan Rethinks Care as it Confronts Pandemic of Dementia. And it talks about the work of Yuji Ogawa. He's been pursuing caring for Alzheimer patients, specifically his mother. And Mr. Ogawa has helped set up an Alzheimer cafe where carers and people with the disease and other forms of dementia can go for advice and support. Now, as the world's fastest aging country, more than a quarter of Japanese people are over the age of 65. That's over 25%. And by 2025, 7.3 million Japanese will be living with Alzheimer's. 1 out of every 20 people in that country. And by 2050, if nothing changes, it'll be 1 in 10. Now, the treatment and care of people with Alzheimer's and other types of dementia, that costs Japan 14.5 trillion yen, or about $128 billion in US dollars a year, according to a study that was conducted by Keio University. Now, it's clear that here in the US, we're riding the same boat, right? We're going where they're going. And to illustrate that, here are a few stats from several different sources, but mainly from the Alzheimer's Association. Alzheimer's disease is the only top 10 cause of death in the United States that cannot be prevented, cured, or even slowed. It's the 6th leading cause of death in the United States and the 5th leading cause of death among those people who are 65 and older. It's also the leading cause of disability and poor health. Now, the number of Americans living with Alzheimer's is growing, and growing fast. An estimated 5.7 million Americans of all ages have Alzheimer's today. 5.5 million of those are over age 65, so there's 2 million that don't, or 0.2 million that don't. Now, 1 in 10 people age 65 and older, that's 10%, has Alzheimer's dementia. 2/3 of those are women. Older African Americans are about twice as likely to have it as older whites, and Hispanics are about 1.5 times as likely to have it as older whites. And someone in the United States develops Alzheimer's every 65 seconds, and by mid-century, someone in the United States will develop the disease every 33 seconds. Now, those are startling, and it's not very pretty, and I'm hopeful that we're going to get a cure here soon, or at least some help for these folks that are suffering from this. But here's where it gets interesting for you as a business owner. 83% of the help that's provided to older adults in the United States comes from a family member, friend, or other unpaid caregiver if for someone who has Alzheimer's. About 1 in 3 caregivers, that's 34%, is age 65 or older. Right? So these older folks a lot of times are caring for each other. And approximately 2/3 of caregivers are women. More specifically, over 1/3 of dementia caregivers are daughters. And approximately 1/4 of dementia caregivers are sandwich generation caregivers, meaning they care not only for an aging parent, but also for children under 18. So, I want to highlight a few things about all that. I don't like to throw out a bunch of stats all the time, but there's some really good stuff in there for you. Alzheimer's isn't curable, and there are tons of families dealing with this horrible reality today. Now, the population is aging, and it only makes sense. Those statistics show that the number of people with Alzheimer's is going to go up. That group of the population is going to grow. Now, I'm not one to draw on overused analogies a lot, but this is so on target that I'm going to. You remember that quote from Wayne Gretzky about going where the puck will be? You cannot get any more clear direction than this. We've been walking in Japan's footsteps for a while now as far as our aging populations go. And I'm not the first person to say that if we want to know what we'll be facing in the future, we just have to look at where Japan is now. And it is a very stark reality from what we're living right this minute in our country. And it's where they were several years ago. They were going along, living life as they had, and then boom, they have these millions of people, and they don't have a good way to care for them because they all have Alzheimer's. But there's all these other things, right, that happen when people get older. And that's the realm that you live in, right? That's the realm that you work in, is making sure people have what they need when they're older. So here's a little bit of insight. I want to really help you guys with the 50 plus strategist, and I've said this before, to make sure that you're getting good information that can help you do what you're doing better and help you not just make more money, right? But also have a greater impact in your community with the families that you're helping. So, one, identify what the needs are and build around that. The needs are already present in your community. It's not as big as it's going to be, but the needs are already there, and you just haven't fully tapped into them yet. The big mistake I see people make all the time is trying to make your customers fit into the boxes that you created. Your services and products need to be chosen, marketed, and sold around them and what they want and need, what their goals are, not what you want and need. If you serve them now and you do it right, you can get it right, you're going to be better positioned in the future. Next up is get to know your best customer. Along those lines, you have to get to know who not only the people are that you can serve, but who you can do it best for. Now, this is another one that so many people that I work with get wrong. Why would you try to sell home remodeling and modifications to people who can't pay you for it? Sure, you're always going to get tire kickers, and you don't have complete control over the people who respond, but you can significantly reduce the amount of time, money, and energy that you spend generating leads for the right kind of person just by changing what you're doing, which means you're still going to get some tire kickers, but you're going to significantly reduce how many of them, and you're going to increase the number of people who can and will pay you for what you do. Next up is choosing your path. You can prospect or you can penetrate the market, and you get to choose which one. Most folks, they spend years using the same style of lead generation that equates to pounding the pavement and beating the bushes that just doesn't work to earn you the money that you want to make. And the other choice, which is what I teach people, is creating a way to get plenty of coverage in your community so you are generating the right leads and earning the right money. And finally, is to stop being the technician. Going from the technician, that person who has the skill to build or remodel a kitchen or evaluate a person's abilities in their home, moving from that to being the business owner who's responsible for everything that happens in your company, that's a difficult transition for a lot of people to make. A lot of folks have trouble continuing to stay in that mindset of the owner. And in my opinion, what it boils down to is self-discipline. I believe that self-discipline to stay the course of the owner, learning what you need to learn, associating with the people that can teach you and guide you, and then taking the steps necessary, right? Staying in that mindset of owner, that is the root. That self-discipline is the root of your success. That success, it only comes when you can focus long enough on the goal while doing the things that get you to the goal. And the truth is, you can't win in life if you can't win the war against yourself. That's not my quote. I actually heard Will Smith say that the other day, and it's absolutely true. If you can't master yourself and do the things that keep you focused on the business owner goals, then you're not going to be able to win with your business. And I want that for you. All right, so we're going to switch tracks a little bit real quick. I was talking with someone last Friday who just finished watching the 4th video in the series that I just published out on LinkedIn. And we were talking about her company, and I was giving her some insight into how she could change what she was doing now so she could generate more revenue without having to wear herself out doing it. Because quite frankly, right now, she's tired. She's doing so many things that aren't getting her the results that she wants. And it's not only taking her time and energy to do those things, but it's also keeping her from doing other things that make her happy, like spending time with her family. So we're talking about how she could change some things to generate more revenue. And I asked her this question, which is something that I ask people all the time, and that is, what do you want? Think about it. What do you want so much that you're willing to trade so many waking hours to try and earn enough money to get it? What is that? Is it a car? Is it a house? Is it a specific amount of money? Is it health, a happiness, a certain amount of friends? What is that success to you? Kids, family? Now, whatever it is for you, right? I get a lot of answers, but I will tell you that almost every one of them, it boils down to, is freedom. The freedom to do the work that they want, to work for the people that they want to work for, to help the people that they want to help, to go where they want to, when they want to, and do what they want to while they're there. And every single one of those opportunities requires a certain level of financial success. So, in most cases, that kind of freedom in life follows the money. And I think we can all agree on that, at least in principle. But here's the problem, and here's what I told her. When you're the business owner, going along with what I just said earlier, when you've started and you're excited about the work that you're doing, all of a sudden, right, you're thrust into this new existence, and you're just hammering away through it and hoping that you're getting enough of it right. And then one day, you wake up and you're stuck. You're stuck making the same money. You're stuck doing the same kinds of jobs. You're stuck not moving yourself or your company forward. You know that that's true because you've been stuck, or you're stuck right now. You see, every business owner that I've worked with in over a decade, they were stuck in one way or the other. And it's almost always in revenue. Even when literally, and I'm not trying to paint this rosy picture out there. I'm trying to be very real. But even when there are literally millions of dollars to be made at a local level serving the 50-plus market. We talked about that in one of the first videos in the series that I just published, how in 2016, the longevity economy, which is all the economic activity associated with people over 50, that amount of money was $7.6 trillion in 2016. So yes, even though all this revenue is possible, people are still stuck. And my mission is to get people unstuck. And even when remodelers and OTs and other folks doing home accessibility, even when they've been burned by things like paying for advertising or doing networking, business networking that doesn't work, or whatever the activities in their community that they've done that hasn't gotten them the results, they still stay stuck. And guess what? They keep doing very similar things and hoping for different results. You're not going to get unstuck in a day, a week, or a month. It took you a while to get there. And you have to unwind all that stuff, right? By putting your effort into the things that are going to get you better results. The things that we talked about in video 4 that I had put out last week. And if you haven't watched that, go do it because it's full of stuff that you can start using today, I'm telling you. I'll leave a link in the post so you can watch it. And when you're done, contact me and let's talk about how to get you unstuck. All right, I think that's going to do it for today. Shoot me a note and let me know, or leave a comment and let me know if you think you like the audio format versus the article. Until next time, whether via audio or in text, I'm Mark Hager, and this is the 50 Plus Strategist. Have a great day.